This is your boy Jeremy, and I didn't come back to another video so easily, so simply. Let me get my headset though. As you can see, the title of this video is called Destiny 2: The Last Hope. Now, it's not called. I didn't. I'm not gonna claim nothing. We just call. I'll just call it The Last Hope. Okay. Now, I've been away for years. On some people have, or less than years, basically speaking, but not really. I've been away for like months, not years. Let's get it right. Now, as you can see, I have played some of the new stuff with off screen. As you can see, I got the old light. I've been around since D1. Let's be real. I don't even know. Again, without a story beat or something navigating you anywhere, you don't even know where to start or go. Pay for two expansions, you get one. I don't think people realize that, but you do get access to the expansion pass. So, and that's still cheaper than what you pay for. But let's talk about something. President, cool and look. Out of all the years, I wanted to see how everything in this game, as a game, you know, it, now I had not done that much besides make it to 500. Let's be real, that's it, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. Destiny 2 spent a lot of years of my life on this game. But if y'all asking questions, hey, how do you feel about distances, whatever? Let's put that at the side. Let's just look at it, Destiny as a whole. What we get, right? I can go here. What we get as a whole, right? All right. Over the years, we gotten one. We It's out of order, by the way. I think it's out of order. It might be in order. We have no. It's in order. I don't think we came to the moon into the pyramid ships. We got boom, one, two, three. It's not. This is Gjallarhorn type thing, but it's not the three, five, six, seven mansions. They left on a lucky seven. All right, each year. And the thing is that this is not all of it. It's crazy. The expansions that destroyed it the most is not even here. There are some expansions that's not even shown up on this list. Curse of Osiris expansion. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Curse of Osiris is not even here. That's all the way to eight. They had two little baby expansions, and they're not even here. Curse of Osiris is not here. The Mars and the Curse of Osiris. Those two things. I think Curse of Osiris brought back both of them, but I would say Curse of Osiris and the Warlock expansion. But yeah, the original D2 expansion, Forsaken. Before this, was then the Hail Mary was Forsaken. Maybe. I'm misremembering because I'm thinking the moon was next after everything else. Then it went here. Then it went here. I think these are out of order right here. Like, sure, after the Coast of Osiris and after the I, again, I gotta go back into it, but overall, the lowest point of Destiny, through Destiny, at its life cycle, is not here. Let's be real. This is not its low point. This is not its low point, and this is not its low. We reach low numbers. Yes, that's lower than Curse of Osiris, but the fandom was so different. The sandbox was so different. You know what I'm saying? These two for people was the biggest. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think people factor in that the sandbox changes so much over the years that a low point, depending on the sandbox and the gameplay and and the replayability of the game and the story. And I would say overall, these this one alone is not Destiny's low point because these two together, Destiny's wasn't a low point. You know what I'm saying? Let me break this down. Why? The mechanics between here and here was not too far off. If we go back from Vanilla D2, like Red War and Coastal of Osiris, and everything that's in that game during that time, and the amount of stuff to do, Coastal of Osiris to me is still the lowest of because the amount of changes and content we got, that we had in there, which was lower than anything out of all after Forsaking. It was only up from here. There was no down in like it might be down in story and contrast and whatever, but like yeah, this was a smaller bit, and this then to me it was only up. It was up and downs, but it was only up from there. Cursor Osiris, we never went to a formula of two, you know, reds and a blue, or two, two blues, basically speaking, right? I don't know why I was going to say like two blues and a purple or something like that, or two blues and a red or whatever. But with the little chest and all that. You know what I'm saying? It was only up from there, as in story wise and expanding wise. And it was small sprinkle through different seasons, yes, but it was only up from there. We had seasons of different things like Gambit season, Black Armory seasons, but story wise and game mechanics between seasonal changes, the biggest changes of our class abilities was this. It wasn't this. It was literally Witch Queen. Witch Queen brung, the light subclasses up there. It literally brung this is just all 2.0 stuff. Like literally everything was in Witch Queen came out around there. Yeah, the Void 2.0, everything else. The remaking of subclasses was around this, like remaking aspects and all that stuff. Like the tuning of but bringing it into the current sandbox we got today was Witch Queen, and then adding new subclass was this right here. Again, they blend them together. Then literally from there we had access to world connections, which was this. Then we had a little Star Wars, which is not a bad thing to end it on, right? Which you feel me? That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying is that overall, nothing was as low as literally differences. Oh, sorry, nothing. Yes, you can say the lower player count, but the amount of content was higher than anything. The amount of content was there again for current players and new players. I don't care what you want to put about. Interest was probably up and down. Let's be real. Until a season brung them out, and season there brung again seasons was or season different types of roadmaps or seasons was gluing the game together as a player base. But the lowest player base really didn't happen because like Osiris because it sucked. You ever think Osiris and small Warmind deal stuff, and it was only one good thing was Mars. Only thing that was good was Mars. Okay, everything else it went up from there because we had the saving grace, which at the time was Forsaken, and Forsaken was the first adept tuning to our light subclass abilities. We had new access to new abilities, like literally new supers. Distances, we had new Warlock supers, new Titan supers, new everything was birthed into Forsaken. Then we had Shadowkeep, which was the mid and high thing. It's like a um, you know, that not copium, what is it? Nostalgia. This is the nostalgia DLC. Then it ramped up from there to Beyond Light, going taking the story further. And from there it only went up. Yes, it has its ups and downs between the seasons, but it was only up from there. Witch Queen was the best. Like it's like the female version of Taken King. Witch Queen was the female Taken King, dominant one. Then Strand, it may seem like it was this was mostly perception. This was the worst perception differences at the end of the day. But to me, is that okay? Again, you got both of them. You got Lightfall and Edge of Fate, right? You got Edge of Fate, you got Lightfall, right? You got both of them, right? Or the Final Shape, whatever you want. Like they got both of them, right? You got Lightfall and the Final Shape and Edge of Fate. Oh, so yeah, you got and Lightfall. They pit them together. You got the Final Shape and Lightfall, right? Right. These two stories separately being launched differences was unique, but it was perceived poorly by the community. It wasn't low because this it had a little bit of content in it. No, it was perceived poorly of Rohan and not getting attached to characters, but it wasn't not his lowest point because of that. But when the final shape of one, yeah, Lightfall and you got the final shape. When we killed the witness, Destiny differences courses on us well. Thought it was a foe that was crazy over there. So the lowest point, yes, was in this center for a different reason low. It's not literally, it's not Curse of Osiris low. It never been a Curse of Osiris low. Again, you say, well, the expansion sucked. The expansion did not suck as worse as Curse of Osiris. The sandbox and Curse of Osiris, again, the gaming sandbox. Understand this. The original gaming sandbox around Curse of Osiris was literally lackluster, and it was bare bones. Again, we had barely had any good, combination. Like it was too dominant power super. It was literally the sandbox was stale than anything else. This had a wonderful sandbox. Story just had a poor execution of one of the expansions. And after people defeated the Witness, which the Witness expansion was good, different is because these two expansions in one. The Witness expansion within there, guess what? That expansion was literally, and I'll repeat this to you, the Witness expansion literally was the best one, but out of these two, out of the Lightfall and Final Shape saga. So out of the Light and Dark saga, the end of the Witness was good. Perceived. Well, it's literally that home stretch of a movie like that little quarter half of a movie was like a little distasteful, but the ending was good. That's what this was. And the thing is, after somebody defeat the Witness, the 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 whole community felt like, okay, I don't see no reason to come back because what I put my years into was already done. We did what we did. The fight was good. The lead up to it in the middle, like the lead up to it was good, but in the middle was meh. But at towards the end, it was good. That's how because these two correspond with each other back to back. Period. Everything into these two corresponds with each other, and everything from here to here technically actually corresponds to each other. These two corresponds with each other. I ain't buying. This is not Destiny. This is Marathon. If you don't understand. I'm good. I'm not. That's not my type of game that I will play. You know what I'm saying? So overall, there was never another Osiris low. The player is low for a different reason. Low. Osiris was poorly poorly accepted. Like okay, like everything was like okay, this is what I do here. This is what I okay. This is my award here. All these time gated lockouts. Again, uh, it was hard to save Osiris from what it was. This Forsaken brung the curse of Osiris out of yes, yeah, huh? No, I'm good. I'm doing YouTube. Mm-hmm. All right. I let them know. Okay. All right. Love you. Mm. That's my mother again. I don't know. It's you on YouTube. You gonna be on the video now. So overall, the these there was never a curse of Cyrus low. If there's a low for a purpose, we defeated the witness. Why come back? That's why it's low. And the roadmap for this, I think we gave this too much hate because overall the story was good, but the planet itself, Kepler, was too restricted. I think they put too much restriction on this, making this less fun. This was more fun because less restrictive. This is too strict. Story was phenomenal though. Bosses are strong though, but strict, very strict on how you play. This is what happens when you have a strict play and a force of a mechanic that no one seen coming, and that's what shot them in the foot. The hating of a portal. I guarantee you, Bungie heard your cries of the portal. I don't think nothing needed to be said anymore. But either way it goes, y'all hate it so much that y'all bring down Destiny. Let's be real. The fans had nothing to really do to bring it down besides this is putting the stupid people that's up top of Sony to see like, oh, see, they didn't like your game because money talks to them. So the poor reception of your hardest work made the idea to Sony like, why the fuck would I support something that's gonna crash? Not let's I paid you one point something or three whatever money it was. What the hell? Like again, y'all talking about why did Sony close one or the other? I'm saying okay, if you Bungie, right? I'm put like this. I'm not trying to put no Sony on anything else. Let me break this down. First of all, Bungie, you stupid to give in to whatever Sony have offered you. We were seeing this new generation independent companies get bought up and destroyed. It always happens that way. But let me make my point here. Let me come across. It's like Jesus done across for all our sins here. Listen here. Be honest with you, all y'all should just go to God to keep it moving. But that's not what I'm trying to do. Or say here. What I'm trying to say is that Bungie, did you forget that you left Sony back then? Then you left Activision, and now you ran back to Sony and died by Sony. And did you think Sony forgot that y'all left? Sony didn't forget that you left them. Sony did not forget them. But the thing is, Sony still bought you. I said, I want you to listen to this. Just like they turn to God and everything else. Like this shit don't really matter to me because God is above all of this. I ain't talking about destiny or whatever, but be thankful and humble for the game that we got and keep moving forward to the Lord. That's one thing. Period. Now this is the game at the end of the day. Listen, just cherish the friends and everything else you made, and thank the Lord that you make some friends and move forward. That's the main thing. This is a video game. But let me break this down. Sony gave y'all a lot of money. Whatever y'all did with that money, whoever took the money or done anything with it, you should have said, "Hey, Sony, before this deal goes through, let us actually, this money's going through. This money's going towards Destiny." Someone within the negotiation side should have said, "Hey, this money that you finna give us will go to funding Destiny for the next thing and funding a D3 if may need it. And while we funding Destiny, will we use Destiny to fund Marathon? If this is you say Destiny stays or no deal." You should have said if Destiny is that's what you should have said. If Destiny shall stay or no deal. This meaning that we're gonna use this money to fund Destiny, and the money that comes from Destiny will show you how big this Destiny really is. The difference at the end, whoever set the money for to sell out in the first place should have done something, but they didn't choose to. They didn't think to. They didn't. It was greed or something on their mind. Oh, we want to spend bunch of Destiny. Instead, you wanted access to this TV and movie stuff, did you? Huh? What did that get you? Now you got a TV show of like it failed and died. Never selling to the devil, man. Never. It's all lie. That's the thing. They ain't forget. No one else forget. God. So at the end of the day, you should have protected your IP. Any solo company studio, if some company's coming after you and your IP, protect your way of being independent. If there's nothing there, then oh well. Because let me tell you something. Look at you when you by yourself. Look what you can do by yourself. Then look what you can do underneath someone else's thumb. By yourself, underneath someone's thumb. That's why I tell all y'all return to God, and you don't got to worry about half of this. Because you appreciate it, you would call it a day, and this was some type of passion of a whole group project. Y'all would just like, you know what? I'm not gonna sell out, but we would never make this. Probably, maybe, or maybe you might would have gotten this, but you never gotten it. Mm. You understand me? Your franchise was not worth gambling, which did it anyway. I said, yeah, it would be. Yes, it would have been layoffs, but would it be Witch Queen layoff? No, but who layoff? Did Bungie lay off or did Sony take the layoff? people that made Witch Queen, and they had to Bungie had to downsize the studio to get by. Of course, it'd be layoff, but it'd be people not to lay off, not because this is not because this is they're trying to make more money or whatever. It's that layoffs would have been different. It'd be a different layoff. Like we can't support, we can't, we don't have enough money to pay you for the amount of talent. Wanting a lot of people will try to work for peanuts if that was the case. Of how deeply of love of this franchise they would have had. Think about this for a minute. Developers, artists, all these things. If Bungie was in charge of their own project, they wouldn't have made those big giant layoffs that Sony did for them. They said, "Well, how would you know?" I'm saying they couldn't keep you. This is again, they couldn't keep the people they probably wanted, but it wouldn't be as many as how many got laid off the first time. But the thing is that Bungie didn't sell the IP over to get canceled. Yeah, canceled. Not stop production. It got canceled. Difference they was in the midst of making second distances smaller DLCs and doing the what you got X, Y, and Z. When you got its own Bungie, you forgot how it felt to not have control. Yeah, you forgot how it felt to to have somebody above you to do whatever you want. And the thing is that whoever's at the highest of Bungie that sold Bungie, it's got to be somebody at the highest of Bungie to sell Bungie. It ain't the developers. It ain't the voice actors. So whoever you are was it worth destroying your franchise for? Because you destroyed your franchise. You selling out your franchise, giving them a false dream and a hope that no one else can distance do. You killed them. And you're desperate cry to what say what? I'd rather dwindle off my studio, make smaller expansions and distances and take time and slowly build up my distances, my focus, which I did. It shows, and it shows when your time of desperation, your team that you had can cook underneath the smallest distress, even in the smallest hour. Do you understand how much content and everything y'all produce in a small delay and things they've been working on the back burner? The dev team, the development team killed this. This is literally the best content drop y'all ever had. That's leaving. This is the best content drop you ever had. Than any else contract. There's no other contract drop that would have beaten this. Another DLC won't beat this contract drop. Understand at your lowest. This is your lowest. Your team at its lowest, but cooked the most. Gave us everything we asked for and then some. More than it's not perfect. Yeah, of course. What would be? But everything in this damn game, from saying that I don't want to go back and forth to the people, focusing, like everything was given. And you took your developers, not the developers, but I'm not even gonna blame y'all, the artists, whatever. It took the head honcho to see at the last of y'all moments. You know what? I'm not gonna leave my players dry. The developers look like, I'm not gonna leave these people this way. The voice actors say, if this is my last hurrah, let's do it. So it shows that your team was more than willing underneath pressure, enough pressure that they can actually produce a game worth playing for time to come. Because even if Destiny ends, it's not the end of Destiny. You can say it's in your hearts, everything else. Yeah, that's cliche. Yeah, that's true. That's cheesy. This game is done. It's not complete. See, the end of Destiny is not really such thing as an end because they made a game that will last for a very long time. And you know what I'm saying? The story is part of Destiny, but as some people might say, it's how long you played. That's true. It is like how long you played, but it's a menagerie, I would say, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Menagerie, whatever the word is. Overall, this game is a good game. And look all they gave us is so much and then some. I don't think you can even finish this game. But currently, even our veteran players won't finish all in a day. That shows the love and dedication to this team. This team, I give you one hat team. I'm not saying Bungie because the one that the people because if I'm saying Bungie, I'm separating the person that stole you. I'm separating the person that was not allowing y'all to cook like y'all cook today. I'm separating from that. The ones that didn't allow you to express yourselves, do what you needed to do, listen to the things, take the big risk that this is y'all wanted to take. It just shows that I could tell you right now it's paid off. Everything you've done in this game, everything from here to now, plus this up, is more than anything else. I give you your props. This game, and no matter who's listening, who's gonna watch right now, this game is now worth a $70 game. And like I said in my chest, this is a God of War level game. This is a Spider-Man type of game. This is a Insomniac. Y'all team. I don't care who was on it. You show why you was a AAA company to begin with. When you end a game without ending a franchise. Again, the franchise lies in the hearts and into the ideas of a creator of a team. Forget about the studio differences that might hold a name, but at the end of the day, if Bungie name stripped aside the developers, the artists, the story makers, the borders, all of that, you're all of y'all together. That's Destiny. You are Destiny, and the players is the life of Destiny. So don't get that twisted. Because everything in this one video alone, this I don't even know who's gonna even watch it. This is what a $70 game. That's how a team supposed to be. Come together and give us a complete game. It said shit, it's ending. We're gonna end it this on a high note. Or we're gonna deliver live beyond. They're gonna live beyond. This is our creativity. Because the players is the life, Destiny. And the developers is the development of the infinite world that you wanted to build. Developers is Destiny, players is the life. Don't ever get that twisted. Don't get losing. Everything y'all done here, a lot of people might be hurting or crying, whatever. I say stay solid. Yeah, as you can say, be your star sign. You know, it's more to come. I don't know. That's why I didn't put it like, because it's not an end to this game. It might be into a chapter, but as long as we stay strong and move forward and Guardians make our own fate, it'll be this is an end to a new beginning. And that's all about prayer. In my opinion, you pray to God about everything else, but you know, God is willing to give us some extra things just to do something. I say God's more willing to take your eyes away from stuff like this and less distraction and focus on Him. So I would say some of us need to touch some grass, go to church, praise the Lord, be thankful, gratitude, and return to Christ at the end of the day. Don't let this game distract you from the Lord. Let this game be a thank you to allow it to see what the Lord has provided and how we use what the Lord has given us. He gave us the opportunity to create and craft and build friendship and things like that. Don't lose sight of the mission, ministry, praising God, going to Jesus. That's what you're gonna do. This is just some good thing. This is like a war. By the way, people, I was like, you understand, a person that's more glorious for God and humble in the eyes of God, the more they can appreciate what this game has to offer. The more they can appreciate the love and not just in the game, but the love of differences of themselves. And the more they can understand where they might have to take up time and breathe and say, Lord, shoot, this is cool. Thank you for this time for me playing X, Y, and Z. It was just beautiful. I made the friends along the way. I went to this person's wedding. I done like X, Y, and Z. My friend Jeff died before the end, the new beginning. You feel me? So that's what I'm trying to, what I'm saying? I made a lot. I named my clan after this man, everything. So you know what I'm saying? The people you make on the way. A game is to draw people together, and it should draw you closer to God, not to the sin. Let's be real. That's that. The game should draw you closer to each other, to build on each other, care on each other, love each other, and spread love out of each other, and teach and bring the gospel, preach it to those people, and bring people closer to God. Period. Like that's just how a game should be in my eyes. It's what it done for me. I preach, I talk to people, spread the gospel, tell others on a daily of God things, and pray even when I'm doing some strikes or thank God, let me get this. Thank God for X, Y, and Z. So if God is in your heart, man, differences and you're humble, you know things like this come to an end. And even our own current reality depths is into a new beginning. When you die with Christ, you live with Christ. You die with sin, differences, you're suffering. This don't live. Just understand the difference. Man. Don't let a game destroy you spiritually. Let the game guide you to Christ. Because at the end, it guides you to people. And how you carry yourself, is what you surround yourself with. Meaning your characters of your friend group reflects what's around you and what's in your soul. As your friend groups are gooners, you might want to leave. Not because difference is they just gooners, all that stuff. It's like they are not good for your brain. I have one friend that's like, like that. So I spread the gospel and pray for them. But thing is that you need to follow what the Lord is at, even in gaming. So I know I like y'all ask for raw and doing X, Y, and Z, but don't make this your life because this game is not your life. It's a thing that lives in that's part of your life, but it's not your life. But if this thing that everyone made that they time together can break you, that means the devil can trick you and fool you all day. And don't do that to yourself. But if this thing could be appreciated, loved, and respected the way it should be, and at the end of the day, it doesn't bring you farther from God, but bring you closer to spread the gospel. Like shit, I'm spreading it now to return to Him. Isn't just in spreading the word, the gospel, and the guy, everything. Because all games should do is to bring friendships. It should bring children of Christ together. That's it. Love with each other together. It shouldn't. You shouldn't have to be foggy. Like after you play the game, you shouldn't like. Oh, I don't know what I want to do in my life. If there's no game, I want you to take what this is the friends you made and the people you made with Christ. I'm telling you, think about it. Like as soon as you take this game down, I can go to a friend's house and talk to them about God. And that with God, like, look, God, he helped me with this and everything else, and tell some things, testimonies, some stories, preached, done here. Like you can put this down, but when you pick it back up, it doesn't draw you away from it. The devil wants to use these ideas just to distract you. But I say, hell, difference is, devil's a lie. If God is in your heart and God has gotten you on a game or anything else, he the sinner. Then difference is don't matter if what this thing you're using. God is within you and say, oh yeah, you can play this, or yeah, you can do X, Y, and Z. You're okay. And this doesn't convict you. This doesn't do anything else. And you haven't prayed about to see if can this convict you and everything else. Then, then play the game not to get, I want to escape from reality. No, we, if guardians in the game can make their own fate, children of God can change fate. You understand? You don't like how the world is? Pray, repent, move forward. Cause at the end of the day, well, we ain't gonna distance at the end of the day. We seek on heaven on earth. Guardians seek internal heaven beyond the trap or something like that. I don't know what guardians seek, but that's the humans seek heaven on earth. And also, the only way to get there, because you can get your heaven on earth. This is now or later. Shoot, get a couple of sermons. Yeah, Philip Anthony Mitchell to go to do a couple of preachings, a couple of gospels. Get a couple of people, man. Do some preaching. But if y'all trying to escape the world differences and let the devil just reap everything, then you're not being a guardian in real life. Which if we're in this game, we're supposed to protect the universe, and in God's eyes, we're the salt of this world. If you're not doing your job, then you're the toxic of this world. Don't ever think to just use a game to escape. Use a game to inspire you to continue moving forward with Christ. Like to inspire you and then continue. Like you could be thankful for everything. Like damn, the creativity that God gave us is peculiar. God didn't say you're crazy. He called you peculiar. So your ideas would be peculiar. The exploration could be peculiar. So do right. Stop trying to like, oh, this world suck. I said this world was beautiful. This world is still beautiful. It does not suck. You don't suck either. You do the work of God. Everything comes out of you when God works through you. It's beauty. You, like I said, you could either become a witness or you become this is something called the light. I'd rather carry the light than some dark. I'm just letting you know. There's some people out here that act like the witness and act like Maya Cinderesh. Doesn't mean you with them. Like we better than that. You feel me? We got where our Davids out here. Differences that slave giants. That's our history. We done that. We slave giants. Shoot, Elijah. Differences blue fire. Shoot, is you? Be honest, this might not be like a superior game, but the first speedster was Elijah, not Elisha, but Elijah. That man outran a chariot, horse, and some rain. The first speed force came was God, getting that man different things to run. Come on now, y'all got. Come on now, that's crazy. Yeah, y'all need to read on the Bible. There's some good stories, man. It teaches you our history. I know people are like, oh, that ain't your history. I said, please, don't let the devil fool you and trick you from your actual history and how the power of God works different just through you. What God really wants us to stop doing is claiming that we have power. Look, even demons manipulate and pervert God's power. Their supernatural don't come from them. They don't produce supernatural power because they do it. No, they draw it from the holy power and pervert it. There's nothing on his existence of earth. This is literally everything uses the power of God. Literally, the sun uses it, the earth uses it, the trees uses it, we use it. So God just wants us to fix our vocabulary, like the power of God. This is just Elijah ran. This is just literally outran a chariot in some storms, man. He's going miles and miles per hour. You know, feel me? He was fast. And this is just turned it out. So yeah, holy power comes from the Lord. That's it. Jesus, the Holy Spirit, all of them. That's again, God's like telling us to again. The more we think we rely on the power that He gave us to use and claiming it is like as ours. It's kind of weird. That's like literally, it's like your father, like God's like, I gave you the power to breathe and wake up today. Did this man think this is out of the power, the energy that I gave him currently to survive and live off? That he built his own empire on his own two power and feet? Nah, I didn't need him to build that, and I ain't tell him to build that. So I'm gonna knock it down 3 years from now, and he can't tell me why. He gonna ask me why did I do that after I told him not to build that empire, or he even asked me can you build it. That's what God does. He not again. That's why everything doesn't work out because God didn't say yes or no to it. You just did it on your own. Use his power on his own, unsupervised, and build something, and he takes those things away. So really, when people say, "Oh, you're gonna power," it's more it's like the power the Lord's giving you. The things that you try to build things without His say so will crumble more times than not. You won't succeed what you're building either because you're looking for peace. There won't be no peace in what you're building because it's only designed selfishly because it comes from sin in the first place. It comes from the word I, me, or whatever. It comes from a selfish place, a sinful place that camouflage in a holy place. That's how the devil camouflage his holy his his demonicness into he comes he appears as holiness, but he's sinful. You're doing the same thing. That's why those things doesn't succeed or everything else. That's why the world's so miserable and everything else because we're doing it ourselves. We got to do better as everything, period, as a whole, as everything. So yeah, come back to God. I would tell you, but no one has no power because the power doesn't come from neither one of us. And the power that God gave us that we can use without Him saying you should, without any say so, is the power of free will. And how the power of free will works is who we choose to lead us. Free will is a choosing of leadership. We are free to choose leadership. That's the will we carry, a free will to choose leadership. Either we let our sinful nature lead us, which difference is that has the God behind that difference is sinful nature, which is the devil, or we allow difference is the holy nature, which once was our original nature, lead us. That's it. So my free will, your free will is nothing but a choice of who we give the helm of leadership to. Our free will, our free will, difference our nature that we currently carry, that is sin which wasn't our original nature. Again, sin was not our original nature. Holy or allowed holy nature that comes from the Heavenly Father, which was our original nature. Our original nature. Again, God is teaching us and showing us how to return to our original holy nature. And if we accept that, again, the holy nature that Jesus is God is showing us is a nature we originally had before we gave it up, before we tainted, from the Garden of Eden. Obviously, we didn't know that. Like you're tainted your your original nature that we have access to, the only nature that showed that existed was holy nature. Sinful nature is a byproduct of differences of rejection of Christ. Difference that the devil himself manifests and differences tempted us to differences consume, corrupting differences our flesh. And God, with his holy nature, protected our hearts and our soul. So now every offspring from the atoms we do for our atoms, so every time we birth one thing, we have a sinful, a corrupted nature because Adam and Eve ate the full tree of all that, the full things, roots and all. So we are corrupted, rooted tree of good and evil. And that's from every generation from now until now. And people say, well, how are you descended from one X, Y, and Z? I said, It don't matter what you. I saw my brother this. The batch that God made Adam, that batch, he ain't just affected on everything else. Adam and Eve affected all mankind. God is the same batch. God ain't no wasteful. God, last time I checked, he recycles and make things holy. This is recycled nature. He use anything differences. He can break down anything, use things differences, and turn them holy. Let me break this down. Um, it don't matter what you talking about. Like that affection was released upon the whole earth. All of us comes from the same earth. We all came from the same place of the earth, right? That comes from God. So other than that, yeah, the whole earth is corrupted because of it now. God ain't say God ain't gonna, oh, I'm gonna make a whole brand new batch of humans that's not corrupted. He's not gonna put a non-corrupted batch of humans inside a batch of corrupted humans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So regardless how you want to put it, the corruption is still the corrupted. Humanity has been corrupted since that point. So what happened? And he said, well, I'm not descended from Adam. Where are you descended from Adam? I said, okay. You know, God made multiple different types of people with that corrupted batch of of atoms. Guess what happened to all of those different variants of people? What? Differences at the name. Reason why we all descended from Adam. Because what happened to the world? We have, okay, you're forgetting that the biggest thing, I think I'm forgetting. It's one thing called like Noah's Ark. Noah is Adam's descendant of the Adam's bloodline. Noah's children, this one is also on an ark, and Noah's wife is on an ark. Guess what? Noah has, I think, three sons. You know what God did, right? This one is God made Noah to build an ark, had his wife and his three sons. You know what God did though? He also found three women, or either made three women from that corrupted batch of Adam, not like genetically, aka different from Adam, or took and made those three women and put those three women on that boat with Adam's three sons. Not Adam's three sons, but Noah's three sons. My bad. So when the world flooded and killed every human except for Noah, Noah's wife, Noah's three sons, and Noah's um and those three women, that differences that what that God gave to each son. Each son had their own wife. So the new generation of progenitors of, you know, my great greatest grandmothers and grandfathers. That's what those women, those three women, differences, this and everything else. Yeah, three women is more than enough to repopulate. Three women, three men, more than enough to repopulate humanity from extinction. Generation. Our greatest forefathers and the forefathers after that. Guess what? After the flood, his again Noah's son differences is differences. We always would have a portion of Noah in our genetics, and since we got a portion of Noah's in our genetics, guess what? Because Noah's son is his son, and Noah difference is a descendant from the difference is, guess what? Descended from who? He's descended from Adam, bloodline. Noah is a descendant from Adam's bloodline. We all children of Adam because the flood. If you don't want to take the one route, there's no other route God gave us. We are descended from Adam just because just that alone. The other side of the route, which is those three women, we don't know where they're descended from or who their family is or their bloodlines, but we know that their bloodline is dead. We know Noah's side is Noah's side that goes all the way to Adam. The other three women doesn't have a name or bloodline that God told us about. Those are just three women that was used to populate the whole entire world to this today. We're related, but not that close enough. This is it to be Alabama. That's three women, three guys, three women. That's enough difference, separate evolution without difference creating any problem. And we do have some Alabama DNA in us too. Sadly, because different, we don't know what happened after that. Those times, did Noah's children have sex with it? Did one of did Noah's wife had sex with what one of her great children? Who knows? We don't know when Alabama shit happened. But yeah, sadly, this is just crossbreeding is a thing. We did do that. Some people have it in their DNA to this day. So we're forever, this is and we should do the like fall distant cousins, great cousins thing too. So before we figure that out. So to be honest with you, we are a mixed jumble of people regardless. Well, I think we got so much different health problems across the world anyway. My thing is different types of people in the beginning anyway. Again, we spread across the world already. The only thing is some people that have thick bones, small bones, different cave people. These are the same. We just call them cave people. These are the same people that knew God existed at the time. And we're just discovering Homo sapiens was smart. We're just discovering differences. Neanderthals was thicker bone. And we're just discovering other people went from one location to another location. If you read the Bible, you could actually pinpoint some things out when it comes down to all the different types of people. But Noah's Ark is there. The resting place where it's at, still there, found to this day. So yeah, we descended for Adam one way or another. God's like, okay, you don't think you are, but long as that we descended from Moses, we descended from Adam. And every person on this earth is descended from Moses, which allows them to be descended from Adam. And it creates a good story while we ain't differences retarded as differences because God differences gave two women. Differences that so we can bridge the gap so we won't be two in a breed mix. Those three women differences made different generations and what he wants done over this, yeah. And again, you get the mathematician, all that stuff going on, yeah, to populate humanity. That's why we descended from Adam. That it was not like, oh, but yeah, and everything else. God literally said he made more people. Like God literally said he done made more. There was other humans on Earth. You literally that we make our offspring. It's like who did Adam children had mate with other humans that was on Earth that God distance made prior for from the same batch of the corrupted Adams out there. Mm. Yeah, yeah, man. You understand? It's kind of crazy how people don't even be thinking like that though. There's other people on there, and it God foreshadowed how humans is supposed to populate before he even said about Adam and Eve was made. Why would God foreshadow differences how how race was made if God didn't even make them already? He's just focused on the most important was the garden eating Adam and Eve in that garden. When he released them out to the world of humanity, there was people there out into the world of where everyone was out. Adam and Eve was in the garden of Eden. That's what they was on. God released them out of the garden of Eden onto earth with others around them. That's it. There's other people out there. Like I literally read this Bible from the beginning. Difference that I'm not into. I'm in. I'm at guys. Second book of Kings, chapter 14 to chapter 15. So I'm not done yet, but I started all the way from Genesis, seeing all this stuff going on, and the rebellion from Adam, Eve, everything else, and know that God released them to the world. And the difference is at the end of the day, there are other people there. Other people was there, written and foreshadowed, and before the tales of Adam, of how humans was gonna procreate and their offspring and their children. Not just that's not just animals, but us. It's already in there. So all of that. Adam was just the first progenitors that's in the garden. Humanity outside our garden is us living on the earth that God's made and this is put out there so others can do so. Like literally, ain't just Eve and Adam making generations. No, God made other humans after He made this is Adam and Eve. And they were just the first forefathers of everything, you know. Well, really, God brung Adam to the Garden of Eden. Really made him, brung him to the Garden of Eden. Shit, it could be people outside of that time, whatever. That clarity is less clear as everything else. Some people say it's wrong. Some people say this and there, somewhere or the other. Like again, that time we gotta go to the Ethiopian Bible and stuff like that to get enough basic, which is the oldest one, is that's the basic approach that we get to. But overall, it's still known that God made other people during this time. Yes. I don't know. No one brought it back up. Alright. I'm coming to. So, yeah, it's a lot that we need to get better on. But come on, guys, we're smarter than that. God created Adam. He created other humans on Earth. It was written in there and foreshadowed enough and enough told that he had differences. After that, he said, "Let's make man." He didn't just say, "Let's make Adam." He said, "Let's make man, fine, like all of us in the image of God." So therefore, in that same time of proper, prepping and said we would be peculiar and all that stuff. That's when he was doing it. During the time he's talking about creation of man. That's when he was making other humans, all that stuff. Hmm. Again, there's other people around Cain and Abel. And then like yeah, like you're forgetting like sometimes God said just be smart and discernment enough that differences that like doing like again he says what he's gonna do, what he did. And yes, God focused on one main part of the story was Adam and Eve. Yes. Question is, did it need to be focused on that main story? So yeah, when you focus on that, then after Adam and Eve's story when it was out in the Garden of Eden, who he else focused on? Humanity. Everyone outside the Garden of Eden was right there. Everyone else was that's outside the Garden of Eden was there. What they was gonna do, just try to build this and that, all these things. Yeah, just have a little bit of smarts and brain to have faith in that the Lord had made other people. So, well, is Adam older than everyone or is younger? I don't know. God didn't give a specifics on one thing. He said, hey, this is the garden, this is Eden, no one else there, and then X, Y, and Z. He brought Adam to one or the other. We don't know when God preparation humanity and building them and placing them on earth. We don't know this is the identical moment of when things was made. The same thing it was made around. It's like the same thing when hell was preparation and made. It's probably when this is when humans made or whatever. Like again, after the rebellion, soon as the humanity rebelled, or straight after the devil rebelled, hell was hell. It was only heaven. There was no such thing as hell until God prepared. So we don't know what. Again, God said He knew you before you had a body. So whatever He knew you at, what He made you at, and when He placed y'all at, it's on earth. Placed all humanity on earth. Okay. So stop worrying about difference is the exact date and when, because you ain't gonna have an exact date and when. You're just gonna know Garden Eden. The story of Garden Eden of Genesis is Adam and Eve. Okay, that's the story. Outside of Garden Eden, it's us, humanity. When God did one difference with one of the other, he did at the same time. 'Cause obviously, people outside of Garden Eden are humanity. Difference is people was around the same age of Adam and Eve. Hmm, what? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't know when God was making people outside the Garden of Eden on Earth, because the Garden of Eden was on Earth. All that stuff. We just know humanity was made, and God made it in an image, and then the only person right now God was focused on was Adam and Eve. When He put humanity there or whatever, everyone at the different times or precisely information. Look, I ain't no archaeology or whatever or big giant scientist enough, but I can read basic context clues as you and I. If we could solve a small Destiny story with a little hints of context clues and find a fucking, the all the classic Destiny secrets and shit with just a little bit of a trace to find that little crystal that's in this area of the new. I get to that in a moment. The new fucking design mission is crazy. I didn't even get to do it. I've seen it. The Destiny community could find things with a hair and a crumb and the basic information. Bro, I'm pretty sure we can find out differences that look. Garden Eden is that's the story of Adam. What Adam done and released it upon the whole world like a nuclear bomb. That's what it did. Okay, that's it. It affected everyone. This how different is Mayan Cinderella affected the whole entire universe, killing three type shit. That's what it affected it like a chain, all in one. And the God cursed not just a woman, he cursed all women, just like God cursed all men. You understand? So at the end of the day, look, just understand the Bible has a talk about of Garden Eden because it was the most important time in humanity's time. Of those people was the most important of that part of time in humanity. Outside of Garden Eden, what happened outside of Garden Eden was the most important time, and it's always humanity. Different, everything happens. Like that's not just that. That's like we got our origin and we got outside of everything else. No, so is it some people at the same age as Adam or older? Who knows? All we know is one thing: in the Garden of Eden, it was Adam. Outside of Garden of Eden is humanity. That's it. So humanity is probably a few years younger than Adam or the same age as Adam, depending how God put humanity down here. Like he might like let's say these people was in heaven for a certain amount of time until he placed them down there. Or this one's at the end of the day, or one like placed the soul down there, made the body, boom. Like we don't know. We don't know. We don't know everything else. Just knowing that humanity was already made enough to start differences, producing, making children, and spreading across the earth as God commanded them to do, and everything else. And then later on, and we got to speak different languages because God already told us that while we speak different languages, is what we try to do, build a ladder to heaven or whatever, to take God off his throne and do all that stuff. And the God cursed humanity. He just said curse that one and the other. He cursed, limited the years of us, I think, at the time, and stuff like that. That's written in the Bible. Why we speak different languages? Like he literally goes on of what happened, foreshadowing different things, and knowing that again, God then told us to spread across the world to build the kingdoms. There was no such thing. There shouldn't be no such thing as false god high places in the first place. We should never have them in the first place. We was already supposed to be building churches and everything else. Like in the beginning, we was set to build a lot of stuff for the Lord. It was in the beginning. It turned sour over time because demons and all that stuff got to parts of humanity. But in the beginning, we're supposed to be building things for the Lord. until humanity left the Lord, and now look our reality now. So yeah, like literally Genesis tells us what happened and why it is today, and what happened of us straying for God and why we speak different languages. Just everything else is written there, and why we speak all different languages is written there. Um, what's causing all our pain and suffering, which is only sin. What's I might say like a small thing, but it's a big thing. And sin is the main cause of all things, literally. And that's irritating, but yeah, and this is that in a blue room and moving unit by unit. Why you haven't been too kind and too nice? That's a different way. I swear I thought I dreamed of a room like that before. But who knows? No, not that I definitive on that, but I think I did in one day in my dreams. Or I imagine whatever. Or one of the other law. What I do say is that is a different type of thing. So what we gotta do? Return back to God. Um, just stop sinning, and differences in literally be thankful for everything He gave us and build heaven on earth until we pass. Even though the devil may have this world into as the bosom, whatever we're gonna call it. Don't let anything that on this world differences that the devil can dangle around you and take from you draw you to fall into the pits of hell. Like if I because the devil can hold your job, your money, your kids, your wife, anything above your head, then you're weak to this world. That's pretty much it. As you got God, as you had this, or as one of my friends on YouTube say, if God is all you have, then you have all you need. Because God is literally all you need. You don't need anyone else in the first place. If there's anything the devil holds against your head, oh, he has, again, the devil has all of this temporarily. It's not a permanent thing he has access to. Oh, the sickness and health of the disease of sin, temporary. Of you and your kids and your job, like not having a job temporarily. Because God have a purpose, so you have a job. Don't matter what difference if it's a paying job or a pure job of the Lord or joy. Don't matter what it is. Not having nothing temporarily. God will give you things just because He do want to spoil and differences and also different things or something, but He can't do it right now because sin will spoil your rotten. Hmm. So He does want to treat His children with small things, so gratitude and being content with small things. This is at the end of the day. So yeah, it's a bunch of things. So yeah. There's a lot of things we gotta think about. Y'all over here doing the wrong thing. Worry about the wrong stuff. Don't let the devil disrob your inheritance from you. Again, it's to the grace and the mercy of Christ and the Lord dying on the cross. And this is at the end of the day. Because He died on the cross into His mercy, this is covering the blood of Christ and everything else. Doesn't mean continue sinning. All it's telling you is say, hey, I'm covering you for your sin right now, but if you choose to wipe that blood off, you are no longer covered. How you wipe the blood off, refusing Christ, is wiping that blood off. Difference is not repenting for your sins, is wiping that blood off. Not revealing relationship with Christ is wiping that blood off, and pretty much not focusing on Christ. It's like wiping the blood off. That parting you from this sin. Because the only person that could pay the debt you couldn't pay was Jesus. So what you gotta do, Jesus said, difference is carry Him and difference is into your heart, your body, allow Him to work through you. The Holy Spirit, basically speaking, to give you the gifts. The Holy Spirit gives you the gifts and the navigation, how and do however everything. That's why differences right now He's fighting on your behalf, and like differences, and the devil's always accusing you. See how she did this, and that's like Philip I think mentioned. Like he said, this is you covered in blood though. I see that, but she's covered in the blood though. The whole thing is that you cannot come to heaven right in your parents. coattails, and you ain't getting there. Difference is by some just some good deeds, because those are rags. Rags meaning good deeds ain't never for. Difference is ain't for God. You throwing dirty rags in His face. Everything you allow God to do to you is to heal you and fix you. It's different. Everything is for you. So forgiveness is for you. Doing, allowing God and Jesus work through you is for you. Everything holy is for you. It's not for the Lord. You're throwing in a filthy rag. God is cleaning you, and you trying to give Him. The difference is the rag that He just cleaned you with. And so can't do that. He said, "What is son? Was she trying to give me the rag? Well, it cleaned me. I'm holy. That it cleans you. But that is now filthy. It goes into trash, son. It goes to the fly, the lake of fire. That's so yeah. So those are rags. Can't do that. So what? No works. Everything else. So you can write the coattails, and you can't just do things by just good works and everything else. That's just you doing what you're supposed to be doing. Doing what you're supposed to do and does not bring you to heaven. It's just you're doing what you're supposed to be doing the whole time, regardless. So what does? If ain't the coattails of your mother and father, what is it? Then what is it? It's literally simple. It's your difference is 100% just your willingness to build a relationship with Jesus Christ, knowing Jesus, knowing the will of God, knowing Jesus, building a relationship with His Son, being saved by His Son, being building a relationship with His Son, and enduring those tests and those trials and tribulations to the end. This is yeah, when you endure to the end, and when on your death, of this is just being loyal to God, this is until you die, this is with Christ, you live with Christ. That's what that means. Like that's pretty much it. A lot of people fail the walk of death. Even you walk through the shadow of the valley of death, you're walking with Christ. Difference you live with. Meaning if your death was always for Christ. Meaning if you live on this earth for Christ and die for Christ, you live with Christ. That's you to have it. Because the difference is He grants you that out of His mercy and His love. Difference is out of His mercy and His love. That's pretty much it. So what is church for? Church is our hospital. Church is literally a place of restoration and revolt, and literally it's your hospital. It's literally a place to be healed from all the sinfulness around you, to rejuvenate your soul. That's the bath I was talking about, the cleansing, everything else. God's restoring you. It's the place of restoring. And again, it's literally our hospital, because we live in this sinful world that we got to literally, differences literally nail our sins to the cross daily. Literally, differences die to our sins daily, and doing all that stuff gets tiring. God knows it gets tiring, gets depressing, all that stuff. But literally, you got to go to the hospital. You get sick. You're starting to feel your sickness, and you get a cold. There's no medicine on this earth that can heal that sickness but Christ, by God, the Holy Spirit. That all three of them in one room together. You got I guess the nurse, the the doctor. Difference is, or look, I don't know. Host it could be the nurse, it could be whatever. I don't know who's what inside the hospital. It's the hospital. And so you got the staff, the nurse, and the doctor. You feel me? All in one place. It's just literally our place to heal. It's literally our hospital. It's not just our hospital. It's the whole world hospital. Literally, our church is the hospital. Yeah, going to church is never the hospital. If you didn't realize that, that's why God was looking at us weird difference thinking that because you know the Bible back and front and to everything else. He said, okay, good, you know my word, but you're not listening to resting in my presence. Mm, that's the difference. It's literally our hospital of recovery, place that we've recovered to. That's what the devil don't want nobody going to the church because it's recovery. They recover differences for all the damages the demons done to them. Difference, and they got a second wind of strength that the Lord put upon them, and they're going back at it to fight. It's the shelter of a hospital recovery. They cannot be bombarded or attacked by demons. They can't walk in that place. They literally can't get there. Can't even touch that place. They're like, oh my God, Lord, I can't touch this holy ground. They can't even go there. They can walk everywhere else around the world, but these small prayer closet locations. This is, they can't get in there. Just as literally just your hospital. That's all church is, the hospital. Is your arms broken and this is your fusel and it's not feeling right to take all these medicines, everything else, go to church. It's your hospital. You're not going to people, but I need you to change your mindset. You ain't going to a hospital, you ain't going to a church just to hear the preacher preach. You going to a church to get some healing. I need y'all to seek God for healing, not seek God for anything else. This is that they need some restoration and restore me. Like, damn, my arm broken. Lord, I ain't going to no doctor. Ain't nothing in there. I need you to heal this arm right here. Whatever. I come boldly to him and say, show him what you got and praise him what you have in bone. You're in the presence of a God. And since you're in the presence of the Lord, you got healing. Now, I say come respectful, but you still got to say come boldly. So, let me see you. Your scar right here. You want some healing? There you go. You go in with all your wounds, your diseases, all of it, anything. Go in there. If your preacher ain't trying to heal you, then what preacher is he? Uh, If he ain't trying to differences bring you a place of differences from healing, for all the problems as is. And so God can give your preacher messages to tell you about yourself, to make convict you. And he said, because I think some things you need to like, because I think God is the doctor. He's like, okay. And I didn't the and the Holy Spirit and Jesus Christ is your nurses. It's people like this. And the preacher's the assistant, right? A servant, right? Well, the person comes out and think, well, God told me, comes up to him, the Heavenly Father, reason why your legs are not working is because you haven't done this thing. I think that this is in Gethsemane. It's something X, Y, and Z. And then you need to go do that or forgive your aunt. The difference is that it's your cousin. Yeah, that's what that is. You're like, oh, okay. It's that mediator between differences of God and holy. It's like, okay, okay, okay. Oh, so that's why my arm is wiggling like this. Or you got to throw away that TV in your house. Or you got to be in New Jersey and build a chapel. I don't know what else. He said he'd give you more information when you get there. Oh, you got to take your kid out to school. You got to drop this game. Oh, you got to confess your sin of pornography, sexual children, and stuff like that. Or whatever thing you got going on. Or you got to stop doing X, Y, and Z. That's that. I face my sins and all that stuff too. You do the same. Certain thoughts, certain people, lust, whatever you got going on in you, or, or what's in me, or whatever is anyone else, you got to confess those sins all together. Ooh, I had to pray every last one of them. So that's what you got to do. You're like, oh, X, Y, and Z. Or go build a second house, or you done this, you done that. And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much it. I know a lot of y'all said why I mumbled some of the stuff or whatever, because it don't feel good always saying all of these things that people have probably went through. That's all. That same thing with me. I have a little mum room in there. I didn't want to say it because oh, I forgot on YouTube we got different guidelines, but it don't matter. So yeah, that, and what was it? And the read stuff, all that stuff. Yeah, those thoughts are getting just messed up. So you be careful what you say. And that's why I say I. Listen on YouTube. That's messed up to say, but that's why I just have to say like, ew, that's kind of hard to say, but it's that. But if you've done in the name of Jesus at the end of the day, you do those things. Hopefully, you don't have or carry those. Thoughts. The ones that had them or been tormented, or since I said it, me having them or saying it and tormenting the same way. I confessed all my sins before already. Sister, family, my mother already did mine. So, the Lord, and now to y'all too, and everything else. So these form of sins that you gotta do, you gotta confess all of them. All of them. Difference is not just me, y'all gotta do the same. He said, what is yours? Mine was just tormented, lustful thoughts back and forth. Anyone on them, children, people, moms, women, all of those things. That's what mine are. I'm like, what the hell? How'd you get rid of those messed up thoughts all day? Oh, you had to give up lust. How to give up lust? Simple. You gotta pray the hell out of it. That's how I gave up mine. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's what the demon's trying to always do. Give you messed up your mind all day. Don't let that happen. So if you confess all yours and everything else, yeah. Yours are just messed up thoughts all day, of course. But when you realize it wasn't yours thoughts to begin with, and there's demons behind it, they had no power over it. Because at the day, most people when they doing anything, anything can pop in their head. Anything pops in my head, anything pops in your head, and you know that's messed up, and you're like, damn, what the fuck that come through? I can give you a story. That's kind of funny. It's kind of crazy. God used the opposite, the same power that. Hey, stop beeping. Stop beeping. My tablet over there giving notification. So when I was struggling with that, it was the opposite. So what it got over things, most people think about their grandmothers and everything else, right? Difference is it would stop them in the midst of that. Yeah, that's what happened. Mine, mine came at the midst of my lust differences at the end of the day. Something popped in their head, ew, disgusting, you stop in your lust. I like in the moment of all of your sinful nature, right? During that point, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. That's God used that multiple times against me. He said, okay. But guess what? He didn't just use it wasn't no, it wasn't not other thing else. But most people either get they I say you the midst of your your session and then 5 seconds later you see somebody that you love pops in your brain. Difference is that could be God reaching you like, oh, you didn't like that, huh? Did you? No. Like what? Oh my God. Damn. Hello, homie, best friend, whatever, somebody out there. That's what happened. Like the midst of my stupid thing, created definitely was the scenery and stuff like that. I'm like, what the hell going on? That's what happens in there. You gotta confess all your sins to everything else. I know my niece and nephews all watch this. That's why I ease up on the words. But yeah, God used a lot of imagery because if God can send demons to Saul, this is at the end of the day to this is mess with him. It's so pretty much difference is when I got sent with stop my shit altogether, and I just he said, you know what, I ain't got time for it. I ain't doing it no more. And that's what happened. Then I went to prayer. for the imagery. Then after I stopped doing it, then I had to pray for the imagery to stop. So prayer, God used messed up imagery to bring me closer to Him instead of the other way around. Then later on, had to also reel in and show me this you was being attacked by the demons the whole time. And said, what does that mean? Demons wants to use anything they want to mess up your brain 24/7. Since my mind was weak, they got it in the mind. You feel me? So y'all need to understand, strengthen your mind, strengthen your soul and your will with God at the end of the day. So the prayer has to break things down. You got to break everything down in the mind. So that's what it was. They was like, okay. Because the thing is, their goal is to find out what can they reel in there to get you weak into. Difference is to break you down enough to like one or the other. But my heart, my spirit, and I would say even my mind was weak in a way, but it was also strong in another way. So the spirit of God was in me stronger than that spirit of demon. It was just torments of dumb shit all day. So if somebody that literally didn't do anything that's full of pornography stuff, did less versions of shit like that, it became annoyance and aggravation. And then later on, confessing the tongue to my sister and them for whatever the hell I thought about it wasn't even in the moment. You know what I'm saying? For everything else. And it's just like, oh my God. Because at the end of the day, he's trying to push something easy on to me. As I'm telling you the other day. So basically speaking on each apart. The mind just became fucking annoying. So to overcome those thoughts, distance overcome those things. Oh, destiny. I was talking too much. I can get distracted preaching a lot. And overcome those things, right? I need my no music. No beautiful music. No beautiful music. Overcome these things, right? I'm gonna set myself sign in real quick. I'll charge my controller, it's almost dead. Overcome these things, right? Come on, please. Have a moment. There we go. We overcome these things. It's when I get to the point, it's not allowing those things, differences to have control of me. What does that mean? Even though those thoughts, those actions, everything I was hearing every time. Again, these things start until I try to get closer. Now, by the way, understand, the closer you try to get with them, the more attacks you get. That's a hell of a thing. Like I felt this, my spirit change the moment when I different think about God in a different way and try to get prayer. Is that really my journey started because I couldn't say the word Jesus. But as I got closer over time, differences I got attacked with thoughts that love. Because I love my niece, my nephew enough. I didn't want no ketos or anything else on there. And I didn't know anything differences about breaking chains until later on. So I put a chain, there was no chain that then broke that chain at the same time. Don't ever claim again, let me give you a word of advice. Don't claim something or pray about something that you are not. Mm. You was different at the end of the day. That's what happened at the end of the day. Because I was on the point of like trying to figure out how can I learn to forgive others and love others. I look through a category. I could love a lot of people, but it's that one group of people that people like when you follow God, is the God tell you love all your enemies and all. That's differences when I try to figure out okay, what's out there. I could love murderers, I guess. Can I love them? Yeah, probably. But there's one thing I couldn't love, which is, you know, the predator. I don't have like, the YouTube thing when you see the cupcake man. That's one thing I could not love. Didn't know how to forgive. Didn't know how to do that because I have nieces, I have nephews, I have family, and you got to protect such and such thing. So it's kind of crazy that God actually used what I couldn't love to see what they were suffering with. So He gave me a bit what they were suffering with to learn to forgive them and love them. Those torturous thoughts is more to show me that they deal with those thoughts on a daily basis, but in a wrong way. And ain't nobody on their side is going to do the same. So the thing is that I prayed, if different is things that if I was ever to do so, I have my niece and nephew run away, do X, Y, and Z. But that's why I said, don't pray something you was not never for. See, the demon wanted to walk in my prayers at the same time, and I allowed it to which put a chain or put me down a path, a direction that was never thought to put down. I didn't go down it. Well, just think of it, I would say. So what does that mean? If y'all want to know what I'm talking about. Technically speaking, if you can't learn to forgive and love any side, God will show you or give you a taste what the hell they was dealing with sinfully. And that's what the tormented part came from. That taste of that mindset they carry was something I had to pray against every day because it literally made me the most angriest way I ever thought in the first place. Because beforehand, it's just again, it's popped again. The ideas, the mindset popped up in the wrong points, and it's like, what the hell is going on? And every time, that's why I had to quit. God, I guess, helped me quit just any pornography because I can't even focus on what I thought to focus on when I was doing that stuff. So I quit that. Differences. Then later on, I couldn't focus on difference at all, nothing. So all my focus, all my stuff went to focus onto him. So he used what torment them to torment me to get closer to him. Again, and then later on, differences then spiritually need to know. Then God had to show me who I am fully spiritually and everything else. And that's like, oh my God. None of the difference, like, okay, then you realize who you are without these torments around you. Like, oh, this thing, when you realize that, again, God showed the true you. He showed me true me when my niece graduation. And Mackenzie, he didn't see me cry, but I was going to cry in your graduation. Like, there was nothing but love and peace and joy. It was going to cry in that thing. God's like, this you, of how you love and help people, children, people, that's you. I said, I know. My difference is that I ain't sensed that need for a minute until I try to get closer to you. Why? What happened? Difference is one or the other. Then it's like, damn. Differences and over time, God's teaching me how to confess some things, tongues and right, wrong, ups, downs. He was using all of these things that these other people go through on a daily basis, but for the strength that he knew I could handle it and carry it and go through it. That's why it's like, damn. I had to pray for all the, what you call the times and oh my God, yeah, asking about children, lust about children. I said, no, I'm not fucking MVP type thing. Uh, this is no. The thing is that what did I have? This is no yes type thing. Like it was nothing in that mindset. But at the end of the day, every time when I had to give up lust, everything else, I had to give up everything. Differences in that meant to what you call it. Again, I prayed like again, when you pray about something that you ain't are, God probably or you either gave a chain or make a chain one or the other, and that's what happens into that. It's hard to just to talk on that. But when he did that, it was a difference, everything shift differently. But what God was trying to do was trying to build a good man out of me to focus on a lot of things. Because again, I had a lot of love, then I had lust in my heart. I had a lot of mental structural strength in there. So when he gave me what these people went through, which is those tornadoes and all that stuff, what they go through when they think about it doesn't say anything. Everything was in that same flow. And it was the most irritating, hellish shit I would say I ever even thought of or even done off. But the whole thing is that and he was building something better out of this darkest side of anything. Again, I thought all these weird narc shit, I'll be real, guys. So what happens after this, showing your true self, your true you. everything else, which is your true self is literally love of people, children, and literally want to make literally disciples of Christ. That was always in my heart since I was young, but in a perverted way. God just twisted that perverted way. Not God, but the devil just twisted a perverted way. I mean, God untwisted that perverted way. I would say, if that makes sense. Yeah. So my goals beforehand was like, oh, this is just different wives left and right. Whoop, whoop, whoop. But I couldn't get back to that goals because I was getting tormented for something that had nothing to do with me to begin with. But Cain told me to say, God say, okay, oh, you can't love these people? Let me give you what they suffer with. In that sense, I dealt with y'all suffering for a bit. That's why I learned to understand y'all. This one's at the end of the day. Because that's the difference between everything else. So I couldn't, difference a lot of people ain't gonna understand is that their minds are so fucked up. Mental. It's not, it's crazy to me. Like, again, I could have forgave a lot of people. Those people I could not forgive. But I learned to through differences learning what they went through. And I ain't know not one person on this earth difference is gonna actually give in them a time of day. So, like I said, everyone deals with something the guy tells them to deal with. That's what mine. You feel me? And at the end of the day, he said, well, how I overcame this? Because at the end of the day, it literally clicked after I refused a lot of things. Like I refused to allow that shit to bug me one another, but not until I confessed different things I thought off with my sister, until I confessed other things that I'm dealt with to my mother, until I confessed these type of things even to y'all, the world. Differences of all the lustful sexual thoughts, niece, nephew, family that was in the brain being tormented by leading pedophile things to the whole world at the time. That's was a mental torment. You feel me? And that mental torment was changed differently because my confession of tongues. All today and others today and everything else, but that was years on that. But how did I get through the breakthrough? First of all, every thought was not my thought to begin with. Like I said, you had to learn each thought ain't yours. But again, I didn't get to that point to know about chains of Jesus down on the cross. He already broke those chains. I didn't get to that point, you know, reading church sermons and getting close to, Philip Anthony Mitchell, some other people, Cliff, all of these other people online, different just reading different things. God literally giving messages through different preachers. I didn't get to the point to like, okay, again, everything God had was building, strengthening my brain to teach me and show me, even in the midst of what I'm giving you, what you're gonna come out of this is way more discernment, understanding. You have a stronger mind, stronger spirit, stronger heart, and everything. One day you're gonna yell my name for rooftops for Jesus Christ. He was building everything, and this is why I was carrying sins of things that different is learning about those people all day. It's like, so what came is like click is like what's hard for me is to not to stop saying sorry or apologizing or confessing things that's not even my own things to confess to. That same problem I had. I had the problem of claiming shit that ain't mine. And I got tormented for that as well. But God used that torment to bring me closer to him. So when I stopped claiming the devil's different mental strength, that's what breaks it as is. There's no more leverage, has no more power, has none of that on there. You don't want to see your family, your niece and nephews in that brain, in that mindset in the first place, or anything. So that's how. Well, so you got to read the lust between one another. I said it's literally God fought that a huge battle. I ain't gonna lie, the lust battle is a whole different story. You don't want to hear about that. But the mental battle is crazy. Differences that that helped me, definitely how God helped me from the mental battle to get through the lustful battle. And at the end, both of them was crazy. Yeah, lustful battle is obviously women. Mental battle was obviously thinking bad things about your family members that you should not think about, which was the This is the same thoughts probably even Tito and all those people was thinking about. And it had nothing to do with me. I was irritated because I knew that shit was weird to even have, but only happened to think about it during prayer. You ever realize why the hell every time I try to go to prayer, that difference is a thought of something you never thought of comes through. That's when I realized I was constantly being attacked because I was getting closer to God. Every prayer difference I done. Then when I said, oh, when I realized that was not even my thought to begin with, I rebuked it in the name of Jesus. Called Jesus all the way through. And literally processed and clicked in the mind because God showed me why these thoughts ain't yours, what they are, and how to even surrender your thoughts to God and reject all things. So pretty much, it was building up my mind wholly because I was literally had to refill, take everything I put in this damn filth that I put in my brain over the years as a child. It don't matter what's anything else and replace it. The devil wants to use anything they can use to put other things in your mind. It doesn't matter if it's unorthodox or doesn't make any damn sense to you or why the difference is irritating. Those things are different. So yeah. So don't ever pray for one thing or the other. But if you did, understand God can get you out of your predicament you put yourself in. You don't have to, but difference is you trying to get out of it, you got out of it. Me, I got out of it because me telling y'all to this the whole world, this the whole confess to the world is what I tell to do. The difference if I confess to the world and my family, my sisters and family, I don't know cool what's going on. You feel me? So yeah, that's my sin was a messed up mind. And it showed me that they deal with a messed up mind, so much of it. And we call them and claim them. We literally allow people to claim to become their sin. And and again, when they spiritually fall into playing what they are, they fall into that spiritual thing and now they become something that people thought they were. So their mind goes first, then their body, and then their soul. And what's in the mind and body and soul affects the heart. So these are developed because the torturous mindset. Oh, John's playing with the dog. Okay, the torturous mindset. Mm, that's different. The torturous mindset of them creates that mentality. And we need to stop calling people their sin. They're never their sin. It's the sin they deal with. They dealt with mental sexual abuse of children and stuff like that. That creates a mindset and an idea and a form of that in their heart. They're different that they and us and them not having no one to talk to, which is a lot of people. No, different how many people different can go through that trouble within the mind and create that nastiness. That hey, again, I had the same heart as you. Kill them, burn them, chop the tree off of them. But you can't have the same mindset. Difference is without understanding different understanding their mindset because God gave me a taste of their mindset. It didn't work with me because mine the difference what was in my heart wasn't in the same heart. Even what sin was in my heart was not the same sin that it was in their hearts. You understand? So whatever's in their hearts was in my heart. So this alcohol came this because God knew I was strong enough to endure something like this. Difference that was if I was like them, difference a lot of people would crumble and fall down something. I think it didn't make no sense to me. That's why I was the most irritated than everything else than anything that should. So yes, their mind deteriorates their mind, their body, then their soul. Since their soul's messed up, then their hearts become something that's hard to forgive. You should difference at the end of the day. So I learned to forgive because I understand their minds. I learned to love them because I understand the love differences can help heal them. Christ's love can help heal them from these situations. When it comes to redemption or redeeming them, I can't redeem nobody. They can't redeem nobody. No one can redeem no anyone but Christ. And again, it's not redemption in humanity. Humanity will always rotten you out. But you shouldn't be looking for redemption in humanity. You should be looking for redemption into Christ. And God can redeem you. As long as you redeem through the eyes of Christ, you're okay. There's nothing on this earth because again, the devil made it a unique dagger sin that no one will love or be with you. Difference as you become one together. And that's that have felt sin. And that sin is destruction through mind, body, and soul. And at the end of the day, someone that has a heart and love and willingness like Christ can only save them from their own dark nature. But we own these people only fall that way because we claim them. We don't check up on them. We don't check up. When the last time you check up on your friend that's looking at that child weirdly? When the last time you check up on somebody that's spiritually trapped in a damn 30-year-old type mentality? Check up on our brothers and sisters in Christ, because when last you said something, and he said again, if they was told over and over again by demons that that's what they are and that's what they be into, when the last time you check on somebody's different lust levels? Yeah, they have levels on that bullshit. So when the last time you check up on differences those people? I ain't talking about people that's registered. I'm talking about the people that's on that between that age. That may become a Doctor Disrespect. That may become that cupcake man. That may become one or the other. When the last time you check up on this man mindset, psyche, heart? The last time you prayed about? And this is when the last time you actually this is asked the God for this is to bring him a church. Last time you done it. When last time you actually know how to rip this difference from their for the clutches and pull them from there, like pull them away from their own damnation that they're gonna do to themselves. Again, it's hard to love them, hard to respect them, and hard to protect them. But God say it's tie a millstone around their neck. Yeah. But what time did God say that? What did Jesus tell us to do? Current tie a millstone around their neck. But at the end of the day, or what? Mm, that's the thing. So like I said, I don't again loving them is not loving these sin, by the way. Let me break this down. Loving them is not loving these sin. You have God said hate sin but love them. Forgive them but hate sin. When the last time you listen to see, because without sin, they are as blank. They are as you can be you. A blank slate of a person without their sin, meaning if they were chained their original nature and they reside in God and God resides in them, they are no different than you. Do you want to put the millstone around your own neck? Mm. Would you everything you do to them, would you do to yourself? Would you do that to your family, your friends? These things y'all gotta think with. If you are capable of doing these things to yourself, then you go to the Lord and see, are you deserving to those things or should you continue doing those things? Because at the end of the day, 9 times 10, I'm like, shit, I do it. Millstone around my neck. Hell yeah, if I do that to children. Difference is I do it one or the other. But yeah. So but difference don't forget about it. The day God said God was gonna hug you and say, son, you're not that sin that the demons try to put onto you. Because difference is if you carried me and hold everything I am, you will not need a millstone around your foot. The millstone goes for the sin. That hatred goes to the sin. That wood chipper goes to the sin. Yeah, I was doing the same thing. All of that goes to the sin. But the thing is that who are we to put another person in the wood chipper? You feel me? I understand you, but God is the one that put a man to a wood chipper. God is the one that put a millstone around the throat. God is the one that puts sin where it goes, and that's hell. God put them to hell. God is the judge and jury, not us. So we cannot judge that in that way, up in the millstones and all stuff around you with throats. I was with you, but I understand that God is the one that does that, not us. Because that's us destroying ourselves, and God don't want us to destroy ourselves. Because what that what they carry is sin. That sin deserves hell. That sin deserves worshiper. That sin deserves this. All of that we feel in that rage in our hearts that we've done to children, that's all to the sin. Like I said, my mind was very sharp and all that stuff. That's why it's called torment to me because it's not my voice. It wasn't nothing in me. But I understand. I had to realize not to give in and not to even give it power to begin with. I got free because not giving in and giving it the power to giving it anything else. It becomes a nuisance and now it no longer has any power or hold on it. But I grew from it through Christ. In different, like I said, your failures can either become, look, like you said, it could be a classroom or it could be your grave. Mine was a classroom. Mm. I'm learning all day, every day. I think we all should learn all day and every day. So that's how it goes. Confess all your sins that you do. You got mental, sexual, anything type fault. Confess it to your son, your sins, keep moving forward. Children or not, family, whatever. All of it. You know, I was pissed off because I had the differences to deal with that one. The one that this is most people might kill a man for. Difference at the end of the day to learn who the hell these people are to begin with. That's kind of crazy, right? That's why I said be careful. You just everyone deals with different sin. Mine was that. So which one you doing now? Shit. That's still torment the thoughts, just ain't that one. Everyone again, this stuff ain't gonna stop. Well, this comes from your heart, everything else. It said no. You gotta die daily. So if that ain't gonna the demon gonna find another thing to deal with. It's gonna be something new. It's always something. I just said some people like, oh man, you got that one to deal with. I don't even know how I ain't gonna last one day. I said, nigga, sorry, Lord. Who wants to last any days? Mm. No one does wants to bring harm. Again, your goal to start a family, do discipleship, know everything else. My goal is still there. It's just through the grace of God about children. And no, it's no longer 100 women. It's if I'm blessed with one. You feel me? Because my heart is protecting over my family. Yeah, yeah, got me messed up. Just like the anime guy that had 100 girlfriends. Yeah, there was the same part. Did not again. I read enough in the Bible. If I'm blessed with one. You feel me? One woman. I don't even care about all that. My whole goal is to be a father to children that makes sense to be a father to children. You feel me? Listen to show them the way of Christ. I think demons knew that shit, so they tried to kill that mentality out of me. I'm like, who the fuck are y'all to do? Oh Lord, who you think you talking to? You know what? Lord on my side type thing. But I again earlier me probably been way more shy to tell you all of this. But that's the thing. That's the power of Christ. You ain't shy about telling about anything. There's too much different sin going on in the world. I'm telling you to stop. The hell out of here. I got niece, nephew, and family to take care of the same way as you do. But now that I know what the hell they get tormented with, difference is I can't hate them. Because at the end of the day, I got tormented with the hell they got tormented with. What can you do? But pray. Mm. Yeah. Tormented section about children was messed up all day, every day. So what the fuck going on? Because at the end of the day, I couldn't forgive or learn to even love a person like that. I only had to get break free to learn difference everything else, then overcome that. That's messed up, ain't it? So yeah, learn to love somebody that you couldn't learn. God will show you this is how to love somebody you couldn't love, because He's gonna give you. He might put you in the shoes of your people that you may hate. I was in the shoes of them, without being in the shoes of them. You understand? Well, that's how that go. But your sins all day, everything you've done is what you gotta do. That's the difference. Is that that's mental shit? They got me killed. Millstone, everything else. You think, oh, y'all the first thing? But no, I told my friend, Salt, the first person I heard that type of torment from me. I said, why aren't your mother and them? I difference. The Lord had to build a confession table out of me first before I didn't just even learn to confess the one thing. I had to confess this Mikey stuff. I had to confess all of those things. The my thing was learning to confess all of my stuff. That's literally what it is. I I came from confessing difference with me and Mikey thing. The difference for me confessing to it's like what's that story? It's just children doing lustful shit at an age they didn't understand. Difference doing that. Difference is realizing difference is neither of us. Difference is homosexual and everything else. Then they're like, okay, cool. Difference at the end of the day. Oh yeah, Mikey, sorry nigga. This ain't gonna I ain't gonna die with that. So tell my mama that shit. So yeah. No one girl dies in the grave with anything like that. And nigga might be like, hold on, you did the handshake. I said, who cares? I ain't going to hell for you. You would have told this Miss Jean what happened. I distance at the end of the day. I said the same with my mother. But at the end of the day, from one confessed, I was free. Then another confessed, I was then free. Then later on, the devil wants to use that confession thing and try to put it like a button. Oh, you thought about it again? And that's what they try to do. So I was constantly apologizing for things that wasn't even mine to apologize for. When it wasn't in minds to think about anything else, is the difference no longer works. No, it no longer becomes something that's in there. It becomes something you. But that's how everything got free. Everything is there. And so what did every other time? I said the whole point is that we use our sexual interest of women difference to since we just test things that where no woman is around. And that's what happens to me as a kid. And my father like, did you do everything else? I said, yeah, but it shit didn't work the way we would thought. We still homies at the end of the day. But we didn't do since we knew differences that concept differences goes to women. So differences at the day. Next thing we went through was squash beef, but we still talked about difference of regular shit as young boys did. Digging your booty hole, having ass, yeah, taking ass crack. My kids, my sin was I was like, damn. And again, I should tell every bad thing I've done to my parents back then. I never like telling a lie to begin with. I think God wanted to get me back to that point. Plus, I think they telling a lie was not a thing it was. You feel me? That was one or the other. It's stupid. But yeah, as a kid, yeah, I done simple shit like that. Everyone done. Hey, this is a video of Destiny. I almost forgot I was on the damn game for a minute. But it's confession now. But yeah, that's how everything went. If I can confess my stuff, not here on live, not because you ain't facing people. No, these things is what I went through. My transformations, my things, as is same with yours. Everyone has a strength. Everyone has a weakness. Everyone goes through things as kids or whatever things were. So, niece and nephew, I want you to learn that difference is God would teach you in different ways that you never know, and you can break through these things. Best believe. Confess your sins to whoever you want to confess them with. I did it with Jesus, God, salt, friends, and now y'all. I don't difference in, I don't know what else I got on there. Just no children was confess sin on there. Differences, people, and other things. All of those sins was invested into that. Difference was it mines or those or anything else? No, it's literally as it was. Just that word alone had no thought, no sexual, no lustful. It's just the demon just repeated one word. Sexual thoughts and children was the sin. That was it. Needs nothing. Yeah, that's the word. The difference is the sentence or whatever it was. I'm like, what the fuck? You ever wonder like what the fuck is going on? That's what it was. Like, what the fuck? So did you dream about? Nope. Did you differences? No, there was no dream. There was nothing on there. It was just when I had a prayer, it said, "Don't forget, lustful thoughts and children was in there." I'm like, who? What? Where? And I always repented for something that was never a thought of mine. Always repented. Do you hear it anymore? No. Well, now because I hear it now, no. But I use the idea now. Difference is to talk to y'all. I didn't understand what those people went through until I realized it's the mental thing. They went to something mental so much they ain't understand it that much. Me, just as mental than all those folks. Difference at the end of the day was crazy. So I don't worry, mom, dad, or whoever watching, or niece, nephew. You're going through something mentally. Go to Christ about it. But if you think of holding a secret from your parents or anyone else, trust me, believe it ain't gonna happen. I held a secret from my parents, this is Mikey thing, for how many years? I was a kid. So don't do something. Tell truth, whole truth. It set you free. You get your ass whooping if you're a kid, but it'll set your ass free enough just to not do some shit. So don't do no dirt. Don't do it. Stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be hating or anything else. But I did learn how to love them because it's actually loving the person. And difference is not their sin. And again, if they're following Christ, everything God, difference is their hearts will be Christ-like. So when God say love others, He's literally saying even you see God in that person that did the most horrific sin, you still won't love Christ. That's what God's saying. He's like, you won't love me if I was in a person you hated the most. That's what that means. Because you learn to love that person, you need to just understand and learn to forgive them because God can forgive you for every sin you've done. So if that's the case, that's why you got to forgive them. And forgiveness is for you, not for the person you forgive. So to heal yourself, you got to forgive them. And to heal others, you got to love them. Mm. That's what God was saying the whole damn time. But that's not the end of the day. I just couldn't figure that out until I figured it out. That's what I had to figure out too. So it started from a bad thing, a bad sin, or a bad whatever. But the change in my heart happens when you get close to God. Difference, everyone dealt with the damn sin. And mine was the same. Damn. Mine was perverted thoughts of all people, niece, nephew, sexual thoughts, mothers, child, people. But it came that way for what you call it, because the devil, the devil took the most thing that was in my heart, Sam, distance's niece, nephew, and twisted it and distance and bombarded me with a simple idea of things, lust, and twisted them. I had the lust of women, like every damn man did. So it just put everything together in that one package and created a tormented mind all day. It could be anything at any time at a time, but it was mostly somehow focused on niece, nephew, and children for what reason, don't know why. Until I realized, oh yeah, God was showing me what the hell they deal with on a daily basis. That's what it happened. I'm like, damn, really? That's not children, that's not the women, that's the people, that's the everything. What's going on? That's well, that broke lust for me. That so lust don't exist, don't differences of that anymore. Again, pornography stopped that day. God used those tools to stop every sinful idea. He said, okay, you're going to stop because I'm bombarding them with this bullshit. Difference is, God's like, you think he's going to give into the bullshit? Nah, not really. You think he's going to talk about it? Difference is freely online. You think he won't do something? Oh, yeah, I do. That's what happened. But the thing is, it started from me not able to say the word Jesus Christ, praying, and what I focus on. So everything I love, this is when you betray something, demons, it use all everything in its power to attack you, and that's what it was attacking you with. And it's crazy. It was just this sexual thoughts of people, family, children, all of that stuff. And it's not even sexual thoughts of children. It's just the word sexual thoughts of children was in the mind. The word of it, crazy. Do you understand that? Just the word here and over. I'm like, what these are? Yeah, it was zero of it, and that's why I got fucked up. I overcame that too. And difference is the reason why I'm repeating because I have I sent a fucked up sensation to repeat the same shit over and over again every day, every day. Yeah, I have a repeating thing. I do it on a daily basis because it's also part of one of the things is just like my so the next thing is to repeat the idea again. I got just I gotta get rid of the repeating mindset, but that's what happens. But yeah, I'm like, oh my God, everything. I'm like, so now I know what they went through and understand it. Don't go through this shit no more. Which I don't recommend this one going through what I went through. Um, answer the clear answer was some people say no, but if you got out the way I got out, then yeah. Hmm. But the sin? No, I don't recommend sin. It destroy. What do your sins do? Oh, let's destroy it. I think my side because one of the nights when I was doing the deeds on some whatever regular random business one this my damn I had acid built up on my side and that shit just leaked on the side of my thigh. This is just that later on, um, I'm thinking about it right now. Then destroyed my side on right here in my ear. What do you mean? I- This it was sexual thoughts, not thoughts but sounds in my ear. Roach crawled in my ear that day too. God destroyed my ear, my thigh area, I guess my leg. I don't know what I did that day, but it was I was playing Genshin, so I guess that's why my leg. So yeah, so yeah, and destroys the body. And I was just that's since Lust destroyed my body at the time. God like here's the candy cap. You gonna destroy all that shit. So everything that sin pretty much done. I was warned, by the way, by God to stop doing so. I was warned to not put the headset on too. I was warned. I was warned on everything. I was like, don't put the headset on. Don't do that. Don't do this. And I got injured in the ear, injured in the thigh, and injured in the leg. I don't think I got one on the leg, but I got injured on the leg too. So yes, and destroyed kills. So I won't recommend that shit to y'all. Yeah, it kills you. Oh, whatever, unless because it kills you all day. I got on here to play the game, but also the action was in the heart and the mindset right now, and talking God was on the mindset. So I guess this video is on it and everything that this video stands for. And yes, people watches it all day. It doesn't matter. But I told whoever I told, and whoever watches this. At least enough of you might watch it. Like, oh my God, you had this X, Y, and Z. I said, yeah, I did. You got a problem with? Did you do none of the other? No. The difference is y'all too. It's learning differences to love and forgive other people. God showed me what they went through, and there's a torment, trials, and tribulation. If they smart enough, they understand. If they ain't, differences they, I guess, one or the other. So yeah, difference is love them or forgive whatever. I can't say I hate them. I can't say sure I love people like that because I have not been in the same shoes as them. But I can say this: I understand them. Mm, that's it. Now, do I like how these people differences are not trying to return their life to Christ? No. Do I like these people not repenting? No. Do I like that they try to use God as a scapegoat? No. Do they need to stay in jail in prison or jail to jail, whatever? Probably. Yeah. I don't again, no one's corner is not using the Lord, they're using the devil. So the devil is the only one that's quote unquote on their corner. No child of God is on their corner. And no law that we made that comes from God is in their corner. So it's not but evil or death for them. So that's what I'm saying. And it's just hard to think for them in the first place. Because we don't know differences that they understand. Do I understand all of them? No. Of course not. Shit, God didn't give me differences. Shit, they deal with something greater than what the hell I just dealt with mentally. And it's the only reason why it was torment to me because I difference all this shit was the same way everyone should have. The reaction. What's the fuck? Mm. I had a normal reaction. They don't have normal reactions to these things. Mm. They have And it all stems. Again, we need to stop calling people they sin. I'm pretty sure that's what difference creates some of these people. That they go into something so much tortuously, someone tell them to claim something, and they become something like that. And that don't do that will destroy you. This is at the end. How many people looked at somebody with some homosexual tendencies and say, "Oh, he's this," and the whole time he's dealing with the wrong thing mentally the whole time, and we just gave him the green lit to carry it out. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Don't call nobody what they ain't. I don't give a damn if they walking like it, talking like it. That ain't them. Because I'm not gonna claim your sin for you. And difference, if you want to claim it, I'll rebuke you and tell them, man, don't do that to yourself. So the same thing with y'all. Don't have these people claim some sin, man. Because they ain't you are not your sin. Is that let me break one thing about sin down. Because you think about anything, a sin don't become a sin until you commit it, till you actually use what was given to you. I didn't use not one thing was given to me. And then the grace of God and the blessing of Jesus and the power of God that flows to me. None of that was used on difference in there. So if I didn't use the sin that was given to me, why the hell you telling them to use it? Because when they use it, they are committing a sin. Mm. You don't tell nobody to commit no sin. Because that you claiming that they already did something is accusing them to do something. You don't accuse nobody to do anything. You don't accuse nobody to do no sin. Yeah, I have a different mindset, people. Because that caused a lot of people to fall into it too. Telling somebody to commit something they ain't do. No one's what they are. No one in God's eyes is sin. No, no, when I just guys are no one is a form of sin. Every child of God can carry sin right now, is affected by sin, and differences have no way of escaping the sin that they give and reap and that they are. They only that because what they consumed, and at the end of the day, the Spirit of God, they rejected all of God into differences too. They are literally a living blasphemy. Mm. They are the living differences, breathing differences, um, existence of unforgiveness. They're the embodiment of the unforgivable sin. Demons are literally the embodiment of unforgivable sin. Mm. They will not want God in their hearts or in their spirit or in their mind or their body. They just want to use and abuse God. They don't want nothing to do with God, the Father, or the Holy Spirit. We have Jesus in our hearts. They do not. They don't have the Holy Spirit guiding them. They have nothing guiding them. They have God differences commanding them, but they don't have God in their hearts and their spirit and anything else. We are different. So we are not differences what they are. They choose and refuse anything about it. Period. Demons and differences the opposite of us. We in time, we have a chance to return back to whatever. They send it in eternity. So what they affected themselves with something internal. We don't live difference at the day. We in time. We send in time, they send in eternity. So they internally that God has the tools to fix all things. But right now, focus on what we got now today. So don't listen, don't listen, don't you can judge all you want away, but this is I want you to understand what my character is, I guess, in a way that makes sense. Because at the end of the day, what would having you carried this before you judge away? There's a lot of people just don't know what people carry these days. At the end of the day, and how you carry it. That's how I'm carrying it. But y'all gotta understand these things. Demons are different than us. They are literally living, breathing embodiment of the unforgivable sin, man. You want to see what a person looks like, or a thing that lives like what it is a demon. Devil. That's what it is. and what difference would it done? So just as you claim them to be that, they are not differences. One thing about it, nobody is the unforgivable sin. So don't tell them to claim that unforgivable sin. Hmm. What do you mean? Because if they continue claiming sin, they're gonna fall with that sin and they become something that's unforgivable. Hmm. And unforgivable meaning that they don't want God in their hearts. They don't want anything else. It's gonna be a point when God can't be in their hearts. Either they're gonna become unforgivable and they can't change, or they're gonna just choose to become unforgivable and they willfully not change. One can't change and one willfully won't change. It's the two differences determines is gonna happen. Mm. So we should always expect and rejoice of a holy change of somebody. That's why loving somebody makes sense. That's why God changing them comes peace. So those people that do all these things can change, do such and such. That means that's the rejoice because it's the power of God. Only through God they can change that. Period. I walked a few months or almost a year in their shoes without walking, without committing a crime. I always say in their shoes, and without knowing anything. I don't care about that. But at the end of the day, God show you who you truly are, what's in your heart. My heart show myself truth. It's love. I feel like family, niece, and nephew, and want to see them graduate and get do better. That's in the heart. Again, that's the reason why God showed me that sign. He said, I know you're going through this, but understand this is who you are, even if you go through this. So it's just a reminder who I was on that day. So it stays there for me forever. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the same thing. Because I think the many of people that changes from their sin is a day of rejoice and celebration. And we and us not being the reason why other people do that, it's also something we gotta do. We gotta do better. Hmm. That's all I'm trying to tell you. I wasted nothing. I gave y'all lessons, gave you preaching. That's sin. Talked about them. Even my own struggles. Again, everything else is whatever's private between me and God, but that's it. You do what you gotta do. Most people don't want you watching it. No, it doesn't matter. So yeah. Let me find my other controller. Here it is. Oh, 7 o'clock already? No, damn. I gotta pray, guys. Thought I had more time. So, in Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. All right, see you.